Welcome everyone to the Town of Greater Napanee Committee of Adjustment for the 27th day of May 2025. We'll call the meeting to order. We'll look for adoption of the agenda as presented. Moved by Councillor Shank, seconded by Councillor Martin. If there's no further comments, questions, or concerns, all in favor of that motion? Opposed? Motion's carried. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof? Seeing none. Look for a motion for the adoption of the minutes for the Committee of Adjustments for the 13th day of May 2025 to be adopted as presented. Moved by Deputy Mayor Calver, seconded by Councillor Martin. If there's no further comments, questions, or concerns, all in favor of that motion? Opposed? The motion's carried. First matter up on this evening's Committee of Adjustment is the consent application, lot addition application, PLLA 2025-015. Applicant is 275-8595 Ontario Inc., who is also the owner. The property is the 50 Golf Course Lane, and it's a lot addition to the benefit 18 Golf Course Lane. Legal description, concession 6, part lot 17, former geographic township of North Fredericksburg. And as I look out into the body of the council chambers, I see that there is nobody to speak for or against. So Dave, whenever you're ready, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Your Worship, and through you to the committee. The application this evening, PLLA 2025-015, will be heard at the same time or presented with the application ending in 016, as they are abutting properties, as we will discuss in the presentation. To begin with, just quickly, some site context is shown on the slide. The subject lands are located on the south side of Golf Course Lane, across from the Napanee Golf and Country Club, in an area characterized by low and medium density residential development, as well as open field agricultural uses just further to the south of the site. The subject lands include the Southview Public School, which is at 18 Golf Course Lane, which is designated major institutional and zone community facility. And just east of that is the vacant property at 50 Golf Course Lane, which is designated low density residential and is zoned future development. Moving to the intent of the applications. So the intent of the applications are effectively to facilitate a land swap between the two abutting properties. Through application ending in 015, the property at 50 Golf Course Lane will sever approximately 3,782 square meters, which is shown in red on this slide, which is to be added to the property at 18 Golf Course Lane. Through the application ending in 016, the property at 18 Golf Course Lane, being the school site, will sever approximately 2,648 square meters, which is shown in blue, and that is to be added to the property at Golf Course Lane. Technical comments. So the proposed lot additions will serve to provide more appropriate frontage for the receiving lot at 50 Golf Course Lane, which currently only features approximately 5 meters of frontage and will then benefit for over 80 through the applications. It will maintain the functionality of the lot area for the school long term. No comments or concerns were received by the public, and the county, Greater Napanee Utilities, and Quinte Conservation had no concerns. The application is consistent with the provincial planning statement, has appropriate regard for the Planning Act, and conforms to the policies of the county and municipal official plans. Approval of the applications are therefore recommended. Any questions or comments? Thank you.
Great, thank you, sir. Is Councillor Hicks?
Thank you, Your Worship. Thanks, David. I like seeing aerial pictures. I'm very much a visual person, so that was great. Is the intent then to take away the actual parking lot and then run it north-south along that east side? That's what I'm getting from the sketch.
Yes, and through you, Your Worship. So yes, so part of the east-west running parking lot will be reconfigured to run north-south, so effectively shortening the parking area length, but not the overall spaces. And it'll also offer a bit of extra buffer for the play area. I say play area, but the outdoor space for the school site.
Okay, I'll have a shorter distance to walk every morning, so thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hicks. Is there anything else? Seeing none, we do have a recommendation that the committee receive for information the technical report regarding application PLLA 2025-015, and further the application to permit a lot addition of 3,782.75 square meters to the abutting Southview Public School property be approved subject to a number of conditions that are contained within our agenda this evening. Moved by Councillor Shank, seconded by Councillor Norrie. If there's no further comments, questions, or concerns, all in favor of that motion? Opposed, the motion's carried. Next matter is land severance application PLLA 2025-016, applicant 2758595 Ontario Inc. Owner Limestone District School Board, care of Craig Young. Property is 18 Golf Course Lane. Lot addition to benefit 50 Golf Course Lane. Legal description, concession 6, part lot 17, 29R 9858, parts 1 to 6. Former geographic township of North Fredericksburg, and I know that this one's related to the last one. Is there anyone here to speak for or against this application? Seeing none, the floor is yours.
Thank you, through your worship. So as reviewed through the last presentation, this application is related to the land swap between 18 and 50 Golf Course Lane. We are recommending approval of the application. It's worth noting that the future development of 50 Golf Course Lane will be subject to further planning applications. At this time, only a pre-consultation has been facilitated, and we anticipate more plans and review to follow. And also just to note, the conditions imposed on the decisions do relate to appropriately zoning both parcels of land, just to make sure they're in the appropriate zone categories and not split zoned following the process. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Dave. Is there any questions or comments with respect to this application? Seeing none, there is a recommendation that the committee receive for information the technical report regarding application PLLA 2025-016, and further that the application to permit a lot addition of 2,648 square meters from the Southview Public School property to the abutting lands at 50 Golf Course Lane be approved, subject to a number of conditions as contained within our agenda. Mover and seconder, moved by Deputy Mayor Calver, seconded by Councillor Norrie. If there's no further comments, questions, or concerns, all in favor of that motion? Opposed? The motion's carried. Next matter is a minor variance application. PLVAR 2025-020, applicant RFA Planning Consultants, Inc., care of Shawn, Legere, MCIP, RPP, owner Gunaraja, Thuraisingham, and Deepa, Gunaraja, and the property is 78 Mill Street. Legal description, south side of Mill Street West, Plan 82, Lot 23, and north side of Water Street West, Plan 82, Lot 23. And is there anyone here to speak for or against this matter? Seeing none, floor is yours, Dave.
Thank you, and through your worship to the committee. Similar to the last presentation, this application, though one single application, is for effectively 2 lots, and we will go through that shortly. So the site context, as shown here, the site is outlined in red, and is located on the south side of Mill Street, and the other parcels on the north side of Water Street. So effectively, even though it's shown in one parcel, there are 2 legal parcels there. The area is characterized by low and medium density residential development and is situated west of the downtown. Subject lands feature an existing dwelling on 78 Mill Street, as well as a vacant parcel of land fronting onto Water Street intended for future residential development. Just to provide some context, so there were some previous planning approvals for the properties in question. So subject lands were previously considered through a consent application in 2022, which was approved to create the 2 lots from the original parcel. As a condition of provisional approval, the lands were rezoned through the application, which brought both parcels into a site-specific residential type 4 category. The site-specific provisions applied to 78 Mill Street, referenced as R4-21, relate to a reduced lot area and a minimum rear yard setback, and the site-specific provisions applied to the lot fronting onto Water Street, being R4-22, relate to a reduced minimum front and rear yard setback. So it was always considered that these lots were going to be a little bit smaller. The urban fabric is infill. Moving to the intent of the application. So the application seeks to obtain further relief from applicable zone provisions to accommodate the residential development intended for the 2 lots. It was through the preparation of building plans, that it was identified that the following relief would be required. So for 78 Mill Street, the details are contained within the agenda, but to quickly run through them, the rear yard setback requires a further 1.1 meter reduction to permit a 4.9 meter setback. The interior yard setback needs to be reduced a further 0.4 meters to permit a 1.4 meter. And the lot coverage is requested to be increased 5.9% to permit a total coverage of 40.9%. And the setback from center line of road is requested to be reduced 2.4 meters to 13.6 meters. And then Water Street is requesting a further reduction in the rear yard of 1.1 to 4.9. And setback from center line of road, a reduction of 2.4 again, resulting in a 11.1 meter setback. Staff's review of the application determined the additional relief requested is consistent with development in the surrounding area and appropriate with consideration for development in an urban area. At the time of writing this report, no comments were received from the public. The county had no comments and Quinte Conservation had no objections. I will note that today we did receive public comments from the residents living at 73 Mill Street in support of the application. Requesting approval be considered as infill proposed in this area is appropriate and will help provide new housing opportunities without sacrificing rural or agricultural lands in the community. Is our recommendation that the application has been reviewed and satisfies the 4 tests of a minor variance, and approval is therefore recommended. If you have any questions or comments, I'm available. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Is there any questions or comments with respect to the minor variance that's before us this evening? Go ahead, Deputy Mayor Calver.
Yeah, through your worship. I'm just looking at the part 3 here where the culvert kind of comes down through that part of the land. Is that going to affect anything here that we're doing?
Through your worship. So looking at the survey itself?
Yes.
So if I may, the easement is going to be established for that in accordance with previous planning approvals, intended to be facilitated once the development of the lots go forward.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to see when you drive by the property right now, but I used to live down there at 92, so I know exactly where it is. Thank you.
Thanks, Deputy Mayor Calver. Is there anything else? Seeing none, I do see that we do have our representative from their consulting company. Sir, is there anything you wish to add, or are we good there?
Thank you, Your Worship. Shawn Legere, Senior Planner with RFA Planning Consultant. I'm the agent for this application. I'm just here tonight to assist in answering any questions you might have, and I apologize for not being there in person.
Thank you, sir. No problem. Like I say, that's the wonderful things about technology is that we can zoom in from just about anywhere. So is there any comments, questions, or concerns with respect to the applications before us this evening? Seeing none, we do have a recommendation that the committee receive for information and technical report regarding minor variance application PLVAR 2025-020, and further that the application requesting the variances be approved subject to a number of conditions that are contained within our agenda this evening. Moved by Councillor Shank, second by Deputy Mayor Calver. If there's no further comments, questions, or concerns, all in favor of that motion? Opposed? Motion's carried, and we'll look for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Hicks, seconded by Councillor Deputy Mayor Calver. If there's no further comments, questions, or concerns, all in favor of that motion? Opposed? Motion's carried. Thanks, folks, and we'll see you at 7 o'clock for a regular session of council.